Hi, my name is Olivia Grinston, and today I'm here to talk to you about legalizing marijuana. Weed, dope, grass, Mary Jane, reefer, and pot are all names for marijuana. Recent government studies show that 98 million Americans over the age of 12 have tried marijuana at least once in their lifetime. Also, 15 million Americans still use marijuana at least once a month. Legalizing marijuana is a highly debated issue. Today, we are going to talk about legalizing it. We will discuss what marijuana is and how it can affect humans, why it became illegal, and states legalizing marijuana for medical purposes. According to drugs.com, marijuana is a dried, shredded leaf, stem, seed, and flower that comes from the hemp plant Cannabis sativa. Most people smoke it, but it can be used in food and drinks as well. It is a natural plant that consists of psychoactive ingredients like delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, or better known as THC. THC is a primary psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, depending on the plant. In some plants, cannabinol, or CDB, which is the most profuse cannabinoid found in marijuana. When THC enters the brain, it causes feelings of euphoria and relaxation. Also, it usually heightens your other senses. It helps to relieve pain. CBD helps to ease pain and inflammation. Research at California Pacific Medical used CBD to shrink a cancerous tumor. Also, CBD has been proven to prevent tics in people with Tourette syndrome. Now that you are informed about what marijuana is, we shall begin to look at why and when it became illegal in the United States. According to an article in Fortune's magazine, human civilization have been using marijuana for thousands of years. Since the early 19th century, Western medicine had been using marijuana. Americans were not the only ones indulging in this drug. The first documented usage of the drug was in 7000 BC. It was used as medicinal herb by the ancient Chinese, Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians to cure stomach ailments, cramps, and pain. In the early 1900s, states began banning marijuana because it was associated with violence and psychosis. States were the first to start banning recreational use of the marijuana. California was the first to outlaw growing it in 1913. During the Prohibition era, which was 1920 to 1933, recreational marijuana use became widespread. It had been used for hundreds of years as medicine, but since alcohol was banned, it quickly took place as a recreational drug of choice. Despite objections from the American Medical Association, in 1937, the federal government passed the Marijuana Tax Act, which outlawed marijuana. In 1969, the Supreme Court decided that the Marijuana Tax Act was unconstitutional because it required people seeking a tax stamp to incriminate themselves, which is the violation of the Fifth Amendment. In 1970, the federal government came up with the Controlled Substance Act, citing interstate commerce as its authority. Scientific research of marijuana started in the 1950s. Studies have concluded that marijuana does have medical purposes, even though the federal government determined it has no medicinal use. The use of marijuana has been found to help with muscle spasms due to multiple sclerosis, nausea from cancer, chemotherapy, poor appetite, and weight loss from chronic illnesses like HIV and nerve pain, seizure disorders, and Crohn's disease. In 2010, New Jersey became the 14th state to legalize some form of marijuana use. There are currently 14 states that are considering legalizing medical marijuana use or decriminalize possession of personal amounts of the drug. To reiterate everything that we have covered, we first reviewed what marijuana is and its effects on the human brain. Secondly, we discuss why and when it was prohibited in the United States. And lastly, we looked at the growing number of states legalizing medical marijuana and decriminalizing it. With the number of Americans using marijuana steadily increasing and more states considering legislation, it is about time we stop debating over making it legal or not and legalize it at a federal level.